So, I asked around, and some whale in Europe is trying to fence a huge rock on the black market. He calls it the right eye, saying it's part of some set called the Eyes of the World. Fits the bill of what you're after, don't it? Now, here's the funny bit. The stone passes around the halls of power for hundreds of years, vanishes, and then the black market goes white hot for the thing. But the seller wanted an arm and a leg for it, to the point no one could stomach the price. So back goes the stone. But not before everyone figures out where the guy is. You're gonna enjoy doing this one, I bet. I love sticking it to the rich. Of course, when you do, don't forget your old buddy Enzo stuck his neck out on this one. Slide me a few fuzzoles out of the rich guy's pocket for my troubles, right? Anyways, you better get going before the trail gets cold. Off to the middle of nowhere. Paradise of Europe. Vigrid.
Welcome to Vigrid, our final stop. Entry visas are required of all travelers. Please submit your Vigrid-issued entry visa for inspection upon disembarking. Please make sure you take all your valuable belongings with you. Repeating this message. Welcome to Vigrid, our final stop. Entry visas are required. Please submit your Vigrid-issued entry visa.
So, you have arrived at last, my dear. The time has come to awaken the eyes of the world. Fear not, my dear child. Such a beautiful young lady you've become. I'll always see to it no harm comes to you.
So, this is supposed to be paradise?
So there's a secret in the beginning of this chapter. You'll see me do it in a bit. Right now I'm breaking things to try and get a little bit more halos. But basically there's a sort of ring around the top of this level that has a bunch of benches on it. And if you break them all, you'll get a thing. So when you break all of them, the train will start moving, and if you jump on top of it and wait there for it to leave, you will get some halos. I think it's 10,000. Or maybe it's just 1,000, I'm not sure. And you'll know it worked because it'll make it that like sort of jingle. And also you'll get half of a magic upgrade, so this chapter is also pretty easy to pure platinum because it doesn't have many alphimes in it. Those are like the sort of challenge stages, like secret missions in Devil May Cry if you've played that game. Some of the later levels, well actually some of the levels coming after this one have a lot of alphimes in them, like 3 or 4, and that can make the levels a little more challenging and much longer. So, but this one's pretty easy to do, same with the prologue. So even though the very beginning of the game, that sort of like intro bit, allows you to do Wicked Weaves, this is the part of the game where it's officially teaching you to use them. So when you're doing combos, you press various combinations of punch and kick, and if you do them in a specific order, you will get Wicked Weaves to come out. And they do a lot of damage and give you lots of combo points. It's pretty basic. If you've played the game, you're definitely familiar, but just in case you haven't. So yeah, these statues are like, I suppose they're meant to be devices that witches can use to practice triggering witch time, like lore-wise, although I'm not entirely sure about the lore of this game. That's not why I play it. But yeah, you can use them to walk on water, because you can walk on water in witch time. So yeah, right after you break this wall, you have to go back in order to... That's when you unlock the Alfheim. There are a couple of them that are like this in this game, where you just have to go back after doing a certain thing in order to find them. They're a little tricky if you don't already know where they are. I'm not even sure how people would have found them originally, because it's just like, if you for some reason decided to go back after a specific point. So yeah, these Alfheims are pretty straightforward. Basically, enemies only take damage if you're in witch time. They're pretty easy on normal. You don't have to worry too much about them. And this one in particular is not that bad. But some of the later ones can get difficult because of enemy placement. So I'm taunting enemies a lot, both because I find combo rank hard to get on normal. In order to pure platinum a verse or a level, you need to get a certain amount of combo points. And I find the platinum combo ranks in normal a little hard to reach given my playstyle, because I'm really aggressive. And it's balanced around getting witch time, because when you get witch time, you get, I think it's 1.5 the amount of combo points for each thing you do. So the game is expecting you to get witch time and is balancing the requirements around that. But because I usually play very aggressively, enemies don't really have the chance to hit you. In that way, like, honestly, non-stop is kind of the easiest in certain ways. Non-stop is the hardest difficulty. In a lot of ways, it's a lot harder, but you can kind of play however you want, and you don't really have to worry as much about combo points and maximizing them, although there are things that you can do that make it pretty easy regardless. But yeah, I taunt to get extra combo points, because taunting also increases the amount of combo points you get, but also because taunted enemies attack more quickly, and on those Alfheims, having enemies attack more quickly is very useful, because you want to be able to get witch time as much as possible. So taunting is pretty good in those Alfheims, and also just sort of maximizing the damage output when you're in witch time. And if you do that, you'll get them no problem.
I knew it. This town's teeming with heaven's little helpers. It's making my buddies downstairs awfully nervous.
And your point is?
Some places in this world are closer to Paradiso or Inferno. The rat hole of a town you and I live in is close to both. But the Vigridians, they got a special air about them. They're closer to Paradiso than anyone should ever be. And that shit just plain creeps me out. I guess I'm gonna have to set up shop here and score me some halos. These stupid rings are worth a fortune back home. Since it seems you're spoiling for a fight, if you come across any of these, bring them to me, and I'll hook you up.
Another one looking to line his pockets. I'm beginning to see why Enzo is so fond of you.
Real cute. But let's get one thing straight. Your fights are yours alone. I'm only here to watch my handiwork in action. So don't get any bright ideas about coming to me for help.
No, you get one thing straight. I'm not the slightest bit interested in the fact that you made these guns. If you get in my way, I will... How do the Americans put it? Oh yes, bust a cap in yo ass.
Right on, baby. Right on.
So there's a witch heart up here. There's a sort of balcony. And if you get 4 of these, then you'll increase your health. Now, when you get up to this point of the game where you can first buy upgrades, I buy air dodge and stiletto, but I really should have gotten afterburner kick. It's an ability that allows you to sort of do air combos much more easily, and for some reason I didn't get it. It's fine. It's just probably better to get them in that order. So to get air dodge and then afterburner kick and then whatever else you want. Heel slide, that's what it's called. Because I barely use heel slide in this next battle, but after I get afterburner kick, I use it all the time. Heel slide is still good. It's useful, especially with weapons you can get later in the game. But yeah, it's just not as useful as afterburner kick. But I mean, you could get them in any order you want. It would never. I don't think it would ever stop you from being able to pure platinum the game or anything. But you know, it makes certain things easier or more fun because air comboing is really fun to do. So in the first episode, I mentioned that I wasn't going to get other collectibles. That was kind of bad phrasing. I just meant that I wasn't going to try and find any lollipops and things like that, like hidden in chests somewhere. I am going to get the Umber and Tears of Blood. And are there any other collectibles? That's it. I'm also going to get the Umber and Tears of Blood because you can unlock certain accessories for doing so. So they're worth getting. But items, if you're trying to pure platinum the game, are not worth it because you can't use them anyway. Because if you're unaware, using an item automatically will lower your score, I believe, by 1. So it's impossible to get pure platinum if you use an item. Which they change in the second game, interestingly enough. But yeah, in this game, it's good. Well, not good, but if you're trying to pure platinum the game, you can't use them. So this verse can be a little tricky to get combo rank on if you're not like used to trying to maximize combo points. But basically, you want to use a lot of angel weapons, and the game gives them to you pretty easily in this part. Because a lot of the angels will just drop them anyway, but if they don't drop them automatically, killing enemies with a torture attack will always make them drop their weapon. So if you need to get more combo points, that's a good way to do it. And torture attacks themselves also give you a lot of combo points, so the combination of the two is pretty good. It's not as necessary, or well, I mean, it's probably not necessary at all. You can probably do all of these chapters without using angel weapons at all, but I imagine it would probably require lots of taunting and getting witch time, and because I prefer to play aggressively and not wait to dodge, it works better for me to just use angel weapons. So that move there, you do it when you swivel the left stick and press kick while in the air, is really good way for getting combo points as well when the enemy is not flying away from you, because you get quite a lot of combo points from it, and it doesn't do too much damage, so you can just use it. And it looks cool as well. But yeah, it's good to sort of boost your combo points. One thing that you will not see from me in this playthrough is doing the button mashing mini games all the way through. I very rarely am able to get them, and I'm okay with that. I don't I don't particularly feel bad about not being able to mash buttons, but yeah, I can't do it. So sorry if that disappoints you. You do get a little bit less sort of combo points, and you don't get the sort of halo bonus of finishing them. So it is a little bit of a detriment, but it doesn't stop you from pure platinuming it or anything. So if you're like me, and you have like a shitty thumbs or whatever it is, yeah, you don't have to worry about it. As long as you get them, 3/4 of the way there, you're fine. Which is another thing that they changed in the second game, which I appreciate. The button mashing things are a lot easier.
That thing is the perfect bait to coax out some of hell's uglies. One note hits their ears, and a damn...
So in these like first couple of chapters, I tried to keep in some of Rodan's cutscenes just to show them off, but I gave up doing that later, so... Play the game, I guess, if you want to know what his dialogue is. So this accessory, you normally wouldn't unlock it here. You unlock it for getting a certain amount of Umber and Tears of Blood. Those are the birds that I got earlier in the chapter. But you also will get Umber and Tears of Blood for getting in-game achievements. And the in-game achievements carry over save files for some reason. So the requirement is, I think, 50 Umber and Tears of Blood. But because I have all the achievements already, I only needed to get that one bird, I suppose, in order to unlock it. So if you were doing this from a fresh new game, you wouldn't unlock that at that point. Just so you're aware. I might get it later to show off what it does, but yeah, for now. Oh yeah, so this is a secret verse. They're like Alfheims, most of them you just have to move backwards for some reason through the level and just go to a point later earlier in the level for some reason. But yeah, you need to know where they are if you want to pure platinum it, because you need to finish all the verses. This one's pretty easy on normal. It's just more of the same enemies that you've been fighting, so just gives you a chance to practice, I suppose. But yeah, that jump and the kick into the air, that's afterburner kick I was talking about before. So you can use it to get enemies much higher in the air than you normally would be able to, so it's very useful. So yeah, shotguns. I don't use them a whole lot, but I try to show them off. They're pretty good, but the timing on them is a little bit trickier than the handguns or the what are they called? Scarborough Fair? Because Scarborough Fair will sort of like release a stream of bullets continuously up to a maximum point. So like after a certain amount of bullets, they will stop shooting. But any point along that sort of like stream, you can stop at any time and press the next button in the combo and it'll work. So you can hold the button for as little or as long as you want up until the max limit. But with the shotguns, you have to hold it for a specific amount of time before they'll shoot. So the timing is like, and it's only one shot because they're shotguns, it's just like shells. So the timing can be a little bit more tricky. And I just never bothered to get good at them. There are other weapons that you get in the game that I prefer. But they do more damage, I believe, than the Scarborough Fair, so... This sort of mini-boss, I suppose you'd call it, is pretty easy. You just gotta punch, kick, punch. Wicked Weaves is the fastest way to do it. And dodge his fireballs to get Witch Time, and you'll get pure platinum. But yeah, so that's a flashback. So we're getting glimpses into Bayonetta's past. And there's another bird back here. They're not difficult to get at all in the earlier stages because you don't have a lot of tools to move quickly, but later on they can be very frustrating to collect. Also, these books are sort of lore notes, I suppose. I'm probably not going to read them in this LP. So this is another one of those chapters that I find very difficult, or have found difficult in the past, to get the platinum rank for combo on. But if you use an angel weapon, like always, I suppose, it's not a problem at all. Yeah, you saw there that was like the shotgun, how like they have like different timing. So I was slightly wrong before. It looks like, rewatching this footage, there are like 2 shells that are released, and I think you can press the next button in the combo in between the shots. You don't have to do both, but it does have to be after a shot. I'm pretty sure if you press the next button while the guns are firing, it won't work, or something along those lines. So there's a time limit on this fight. If you don't kill him fast enough, he'll break the platform. But it's not hard to get him before that happens. You get witch time when he, tries to punch you or whatever. So as long as you're getting that, you'll have plenty of opportunities to attack him, and yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, I got a max bonus. Look at that. Rare for me. Yeah, this chapter is nice because there's not too many cutscenes. So it's just lots of gameplay, which is fun. But yeah, that's that. Not too difficult, but definitely a step up from the last chapter. Yeah, nothing particularly interesting to talk about. Just basic stuff. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.